Member of this committee and MCA representing Rongen Amanaret Ward.
Thank you.
Paul, my name is Eric Kirui, MCA Kimulat Ward and member of this committee. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm Honorable Leonard Rotich, MCA Cheso Ward and member of this committee. Welcome, Mr. Kirui.
There are other two members who are not with us here, but they'll join us in a short while. Sitting here will be Honorable Chang Morik. He'll step in shortly. I think he stepped out. And Honorable Kibet. Actually, he's there. Introduce yourself as you're coming, Honorable Member.
I'm Honorable Stephen Chang Morik, member of County Assembly from Longisa Ward, and a member to this committee.
Thank you.
So welcome to this committee. On behalf of the Assembly, we welcome you. We know you applied for this position and you've been shortlisted for it.
Yes.
Therefore, we are going to vet you for that position. And I'll ask you to swear that what you are going to tell this committee is the truth and nothing but the truth.
Yes. I, Paul Kirui, do swear that the information that I'm going to give before this committee on the matter under its consideration is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you. I'll ask my member of staff, Ken, to get the documents from Mr. Paul Langat Kirui. With your ID, please.
Honorable Speaker,
Yes.
maybe just confirm when Paul Kirui was taking an oath,
Yes.
he held the Bible with his left hand. Is there any significance on that, or it was?
I don't know why you held the Bible with the left hand. Are you left-handed?
I was advised to do so.
Ken, why did you opt for the left hand and not the right hand? Why? It was supposed to be the right hand. I think you'll redo it again.
No problem.
Redo it again with the right hand. The left hand, I don't think is right. You can come this other side, Ken. Yeah. Then you pick the documents afterwards.
I, Paul Kirui, do swear that the information that I am going to give before this committee on the matter under its consideration is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you. So, Mr. Paul Langat Kirui,
Yes.
kindly tell us about yourself briefly in a minute or two.
I am Paul Kirui. I was born on Sunday, 20th October, 1957 at 8 p.m. at Kenongit Village, Koyua location, Konoin sub-county. I went to school, Koyua Primary School, from 1964 to 1971. That is between nursery school and class 6. I was in Koyua Primary School up to class 6. And then I transferred to Chepsir Primary School in 1972. I did my KCPE in 1972. I never made it. I repeated at Chemasingi Primary School in 1973 and joined Form 1 in 1974. I joined Form 1 Kericho Day Secondary School in 1974 up to 1977, where I did my ordinary level exam, EACE, where I passed with a Division 2 of 25 points. From there, I was admitted to Chogoria Boys in Meru, where I was there from 1978 to 1979, where I sat for advanced level certificate, that is EAACE. I qualified with 3 principals and 1 subsidiary. I was admitted to the University of Nairobi for BSc Botany Zoology. I graduated in 1984, October 1984, December 17th, from where I was posted to teach in a secondary school in Nandi, known as Kimaren Secondary School, where I taught.
Kimaren in where?
Kimaren in Nandi, Aldai.
Aldai?
Yes.
Kobucha?
Yeah, below Kobucha. I used to live in Kobucha Market.
Okay.
Yes. So from there, I was transferred to Koyua Boys in 1986 up to 1988. 1988, I joined Kenyatta University for PGDE, 88, 89, and then from there, I went to Laikipia Teachers College, where I was a lecturer in genetics. Now, when Laikipia was dissolved by being converted into a constituent college of Egerton University, I was transferred to Mosuria Teachers College, where I taught sciences up to 1991, I think, up to 1992. From where, because the teaching of sciences in primary teachers college was shallow, so I opted to go back to secondary school because I was still young and I wanted to teach something challenging a bit. So I went back to secondary school, where I was taken to Kaboson Secondary School. It was a mixed school at that time. I taught in Kaboson up to 1994, where when I was transferred again to Koyua Boys, where I worked up to 1999. And 1999, I was transferred to Kiromwok Secondary School, where I worked for 14 years. In Kiromwok, I was under 5/8. So you see, it was quite challenging. And then from there, in 2013, I was taken to Koyua Central, where I worked until I retired in 2017. And I retired 2017, and then in 2019, Koyua Boys called me to assist in teaching biology. And that's where I am up to date. So that is Paul Kirui.
That's Paul Kirui.
Yes.
All right. So I was interested in where you taught in Kimaren, because there's someone called Aramasa.
Yes, I know them.
You know him?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I know the family.
You know that?
The family.
The family?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll talk about that later. Now, so the committee notes that you retired from teaching service in 2017, which you
yes.
Explained. But you chose to return again in 2019 under BOM terms at Koyua High School.
Yes.
Let me just ask you, what motivated you to go back to school? You know, and you have retired. Essentially, yes. Once you retire, going back to class may not be something that is, and actually, on BOM terms, what motivated you to go that way?
Honorable Chair, first, that defines my nature. Because my nature is that I do my work as per excellence. So I did not apply to go to Koyua Boys. I was requested to go and teach biology because biology was doing very poorly. So the principal called me and told me to assist the school in changing the grade of biology from where it was to where it is today.
Where is it now?
So it was at 3.8, and I've brought biology to 6.1 now.
Okay.
And the results of this year, which are going to sit starting next week, I am expecting to go to 7.
All right. I'll allow other members to ask the questions. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Chair. Welcome, Mr. Kirui. I'll ask you 2 questions. One is that it is noted that you served as a head of departments in various institutions and professional bodies, such as Kenya Science and Engineering Fair. And in this teaching career, at least maybe you gain some skills. And what are some of the skills and experiences that you have gathered that would enable you to deliver as a member of County Public Service Board?
Now, Honorable Chair, I've said from the beginning that this defines my nature. That one, being involved in ISEF, which is Kenya Science and Engineering Fair, you are dealing with individuals of different levels and with different skills. So what is key in this one is bringing the teams together. So what do I learn from there? One is teamwork. And in teamwork involves bringing people together so that they do one job. So that is the teamwork which I am expecting to bring to the board. 2, one other aspect is problem solving. It is easier to solve a problem when you are many than to solve a problem when you are singular. So the teamwork will lead to easier problem solving situations. Now we also talk about a situation in teamwork where you talk about learning from others. You learn from others as you perform your job. Now, and then you also learn about the element of delegation of responsibilities. So you delegate responsibilities and it makes your work easier. So when we work as an HOD and being in charge of Kenya Science and Engineering Fair, I was in charge of Kenya Science and Engineering Fair in Rift Valley. So see, it is covering a very wide area. It involves teachers of different skills, and you are dealing with heads of different careers, so particularly those ones who don't do sciences, and they don't. So handling such people to support sciences is one of the skills which I believe I learned by being in Kenya Science and Engineering Fair.
Okay.
The last question is that Section 59(1) of the County Government Act 2012 outlined the roles and functions of the County Public Service Board. Could you highlight to this committee the responsibilities you are expected to undertake if appointed to this position?
Now, Honorable Chair, it is not me as such which will do the work. It is the board which involves a team. So the role of the County Public Service Board first is to create offices, create and abolish offices. Now by creating offices, they do the second job, which is to fill those offices with individuals. Now what do I do as an individual now? So see, first we create offices according to the law. We create offices according to the recommendations from the respective county executive committees. And then now when it comes to filling those positions, we have to be transparent. We must have integrity in recruitment. We have to be accountable. And because we are dealing with a team of individuals within the board, you see, we are bringing in a collective responsibility where we share responsibilities in terms of recruitment. So I have a particular skill, somebody else a skill. And then apart from that, we have what I normally refer to as collective. We have collective expertise. So within the board, we have got different individuals from different fields. So that collective expertise will guide us in creating an employment opportunities with a lot of integrity and transparency.
Okay. Thank you. Roslyn?
Okay, thank you, Chair. I would like to ask Mr. Kirui, maybe you can explain to us the role and the relationship of Public Service Commission of Kenya, County Executive and County Assembly.
Thank you, Chair. Here we have three areas that are working in synergy. We have the Public Service Commission, which is a national equivalent of the County Public Service Board. Now, the Public Service Commission is a national body that is concerned with the recruitment and management of human resource within the national public service. Now, so the role of the same Public Service Commission is just like in the same, you see, the Public Service Board is customized from the Public Service Commission. So the Public Service Commission has also the same role, which is actually to create and abolish offices, and then to recruit individuals that will occupy those offices, and then exercise disciplinary control over the same individuals. Now, so that is the role of the Public Service Commission. Now, and then we have this County Executive Committee and the County Assembly. Now, these are the two arms of government within the county government. CAC is the executive arm, and the County Assembly is the legislative arm. So in the County Assembly, in the county government, we have two arms. We have the executive arm, and we have the legislative arm. The legislative arm is done by the County Assembly, and the county executive performs the executive duty. Now, what is the role of a CEC? So the CEC, first of all, is to implement the legislation created by the County Assembly. That is number one. Number two, it can also prepare proposals that are supposed to be legislated by the County Assembly. And then number three is that it's supposed to prepare reports on the functioning of the county executive functions. Now, the County Assembly, apart from legislation, has also got representation. And even if it has got the representative function, and then apart from that, it has also got this aspect of approval, like in this case, where you approve appointments by the county executive, and they also approve policies that are created by the county executive. Policies, example, is the budget. Policies, for example, recruitment. So those are the roles of the County Assembly. And then apart from that, the County Assembly is also supposed to perform the function of oversight within interdependence.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. As you are aware, one of the functions of the county's Public Service Board is recruitment, and you are aware the Constitution of Kenya requires that 70% of the employees should come from the locals and 30% should come from outside. For you to assure that there is social justice, inclusivity, and non-discrimination, what are you going to consider? Because sometimes, and especially Bomet County, we have not met the 30%.
Thank you, Chair. The Public Service Board, in my opinion, is supposed to work within the law. Now, if the law says we recruit 70% from within the county and 30% from the diaspora, I don't see any reason why we don't do that. Because by not doing that, we are contravening the law. So if the law says we do this, we just do that. If the law says we don't do this, we simply don't do that. Otherwise, the Public Service Board, being independent as it is supposed to be working in consultation with the other arms of the government. So you see, in Bomet, what you are saying is that we have a problem of the implementation of this policy. So I think the problem could be that maybe the Public Service Board is working outside the law. And I don't believe I'm that kind of person who is ready to do that. We operate within the law, and I believe that will be right. It is safer to operate within the law.
Thank you. Honorable Eric.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Paul, you are aware of Chapter 6 of the Constitution and Article 75 on the provisions of Article 75 of the Constitution on integrity. Can you give us what you think those provisions, the provision of the law that would guide you as you take up your new role, especially the Chapter 6 and Article 75 on leadership and integrity? What would it guide you to as you take up your new role?
Thank you, Chair. Now, when it comes to Chapter 6, that is the values and principles the values and principles that are expected of public servants. And Article 75 is talking about the conduct of state officers and public officers. So your question is, what am I supposed to do about what's supposed to happen? So you see, in this situation, a state officer is expected to perform his functions professionally with the highest standards of professional ethics. So within that one, he is supposed also to be working in such a situation that he does not demean the office that he is working in. He is also supposed to exhibit characters that give integrity to the office, both within the office and outside the office. Even in public, even when the individual is in the public arena, is supposed to exhibit qualities that reflect what the office demands of him. So if the office demands that you behave so that you give integrity to the office, that integrity should be reflected even in the public eye. So I think Article 75, if you don't measure into those ones, obviously there is discipline that follows that one. And there are many ways of disciplining an individual.
Okay, thank you, Paul. How would you then deal with practices that depict biasness, nepotism, favoritism in your role? How would you deal with such practices that depicts nepotism, favoritism, and bias in your discharging of your mandates?
It still boils down to the same thing, Chair, that we simply follow the law. If the law says we don't discriminate, that is exactly what we are supposed to do. If the law says we should be inclusive, that is exactly what we should do. Anything outside that is contravening the Constitution. So if we are following the Constitution, I don't think we are going to have such an issue. How?
Thank you. Fine.
Thank you. I think Chang Morik.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Kirui briefly stated the values and principles of public service stipulated in Article 232 of the Constitution, and explains on how these values and principles will guide you as you discharge of your functions as a member of Public Service Board.
Yes. So thank you, Chair. The values and principles of the public service, number one is that public servants are supposed to exhibit the highest standards of professional ethics. And number two is that public servants are supposed, they are expected to exhibit patriotism. Now, when we talk about patriotism, we have a number of factors under that one. For example, we have the aspect of national unity. where when we come, for example, to do with the aspect of recruitment, we should involve all the communities within the county, irrespective of where they come from, so that we don't discriminate. So that is what we mean when we talk about patriotism. Patriotism also, under patriotism, we also have democracy. And then under patriotism also, we also have the rule of law. So if we follow the law, like I was telling Eric, we follow the law. We just fit into that one. Now, and then you see, apart from that, we also have human dignity. Now, under human dignity, we have the issue of social justice. We have the issue of social justice, we have the issue of inclusiveness, and we have the issue of equality and equity in the distribution of resources, both in terms of employment and in terms of the resources within the county. So I believe those are the key values.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker.
Okay, thank you. Welcome, Mr. Kirui. As a member of County Public Service Board, your participation in decision making is very crucial. Now, currently, we have opportunities internationally. That is where the youths of Bomet can apply. Now, as an advisory capacity to the county government, what policy decision would you be able to recommend to leverage on this emerging issue?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Chair. In fact, that is an area where I'm very passionate about. One is that I think we all appreciate the fact that we have a lot of unemployment. And now that there is this issue of international opportunities that our students or our children are supposed to apply for, now this is the area where I'm very passionate about. One is that personally, I would advise the county, just like the way they do in Uasin Gishu, is that they have institutions that offer foreign languages. I want to give an example. We can have a person who is an engineer. This engineer has first class, maybe in civil engineering. And then we have somebody who has got a certificate in the same civil engineering, but he has Chinese. Which of the two do we employ? This is now an international job in China. We have somebody who speaks English, and he has first class in civil engineering. Here we have somebody with a certificate in civil engineering, but he speaks Chinese. Which of the two do we employ in China?
Which one do you think it?
So we'll pick the one which has a certificate, but he speaks Chinese. Similarly, if somebody has, maybe he's a medic, he's a doctor, he speaks English. And here is a job which is available in Arabia. Because I'm hearing most of these jobs is in the Middle East. Here is a job which is available in Arabia. Here we have somebody who has got a diploma and he speaks Arabic. And here we have a medic who is a qualified doctor. So obviously they will pick the one with a diploma and leave the one with a degree. What am I driving at here? What I'm suggesting is that in Uasin Gishu, we have courses that take 4 months. For French courses, they call it Alliance Francaise. So we should advise the county government to create facilities like that, short courses where we teach our children. After finishing school, they do courses like in French, they do courses like in German, they do courses like in Arabic, they do courses like in Chinese. So that our students, when they apply jobs like what was happening at KICC, so when the students are applying for jobs, they have, or apart from the qualification that they have, they also have the added advantage of the language.
Okay. Well spoken. Now, if you will be offered a chance to work as a commissioner in the County Public Service Board, there will arise issues of conflict of interest. Can you tell this committee the procedure you will use to implement in order to address any potential conflict of interest and include even legal procedures you will use to guide you in your decision making.
Yes. Chair, I believe when we talk about conflict of interest, I believe we are talking about a situation where personal interests are in disagreement with the public interest. Now, in my policy as a public servant of long standing, I always believe I take the public interest to be of priority. So that public interest is number one, personal interest become number two. Conflict of interest also may come about as a result of bringing relatives into your place of work or having relatives and friends into your place of work. So I think, in my opinion, that one is not practical. First, the law does not allow. The law is supposed to protect you from personal interest while in office. So the law allows that you do the interest of the public, you do the interest. That is why we talk about the values and principles of public service governing us in how we operate within our offices, so that we leave our personal interest at home and then you come to the office and do the public service.
All right.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
You're done?
I'm done.
Eric?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Paul, you know, one of the functions of the County Public Service Board is to develop a coherent and integrated human resource in the county. Can you tell us how you would advise the county government on managing the ever ballooning wage bill?
Now, apart from creating a coherent and integrated public service, one of the functions of the board is supposed to advise the county government on the labor issues, on the issues of the human resource. That the biggest problem that we have, so that this wage bill, the wage bill issue that we are talking about is that we have a lot of duplication. So if we have a mechanism of streamlining so that we don't have duplication, and I think it is possible that we can streamline so that our functions are specific to individuals, specific to officers. Like if you look at, for example, we have many services that are duplicated, for example, agriculture and veterinary. So these extension officials, they become a crowd. Why don't we train somebody who is an extension officer in crops and an extension who does the same job as an extension officer in livestock? So you see, why don't we consolidate services into one during training? So instead of employing two individuals, we employ one. Or alternatively, we can have the already existing individuals, so we train specific individuals. If somebody is doing agriculture, he can also do AI. If somebody is doing maybe vaccination, he can also do crop protection, something like that, so that we reduce the number of individuals that we are going to employ. And by so doing, we reduce the wage bill. However, by whatever margin, but something is happening. At least there is a reduction. And the minute we start by reducing even by 1 inch, by tomorrow we are 2. The next, like that, we go like that. So we must start from somewhere. So if we can create that one, I believe the wage bill might come down slightly.
Fair enough, Honorable Speaker.
Okay, thank you.
Chair,
Yes, you have
I
some.
wanted to ask one question to Mr. Kirui. Mr. Kirui, you worked as a teacher for a period of almost 40 years.
33 years plus this one, about 40 years.
Around 40. And in all those years, you rose to a position of an HOD. And in many instances where you've worked, you performed very well.
That's true.
Why didn't that happen, that you could have risen even to the position of a deputy principal or a principal of the school. Does it mean that you are declining this position?
Yes.
Kindly
Those
tell this.
days, first of all, performing very well first is my nature.
Yes.
Because, I've been doing very well when it comes to teaching. But now, usually a good teacher is not necessarily a good administrator. So when you pull an excellent teacher from the classroom and put him into administration, he becomes useless. So it is good that you retain the teacher in the classroom, but let him rise in ranks. So I went up to the ranks of even a principal, but I didn't want to take the office because I wanted to remain in class and give services to the student.
Okay, so your teaching was your passion?
Yes, even today.
Even up to date?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you very much.
Honorable Speaker, with all due respect, Honorable Paul, Mr. Paul, I look at your CV and your age. In this county, we have so many youth that are looking for jobs. Us vetting here today feels like we are closing out a younger generation who would have taken up that position. What makes you think you'll still be energetic enough to take up this position? And don't you think you're closing out the younger people from taking such positions as a means of creating employment? Just to ask, with all due respect.
Retiring is not getting tired. Retiring is maturing in intelligence. So I don't think it is good that I go and waste the intelligence that I have in the village for the sake of being in the village. It is even good that I am in that position so that I can give the intelligence that I have to the youth so that they can grow into the system.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All the members. I'll ask you some few questions too. One is, what is the current level of, at which level are we as a county in terms of public service?
In terms of?
In our budget.
I didn't get your question.
I mean, public service takes what percentage of our budget as a county now?
There's an area where I'm not informed. I'm sorry.
You want to be the board member and you don't know this. Now, our current public service, are they doing well or not?
As far as I'm concerned, I don't think they are doing well so far.
What could be the challenge?
First, I believe there is a lot of laxity. That laxity is supposed to be taken care of by the Public Service Board. Mm-hmm. I believe it is the responsibility. That is how the aspect of discipline And when we talk about discipline, let us not be negative. Discipline includes motivation. Discipline can be negative or positive. So we can talk about discipline, so we can motivate our staff to do better than what they are, or to get rid of them. So in our public service, I don't think maybe we under-motivate, or they are simply lax.
All right.
So I would believe that with the skills that I learned when I was in KSF, it is possible to motivate the existing staff, the existing public service, so that they produce better than they are doing now.
How will you motivate them?
There are so many ways.
Giving
them, for example, taking them for short courses, that is one. Giving them promotions, that's another. We take them for those short courses, and then they merit for promotions.
All right, Mr. Paul. Now, I asked you where we are at this currently, but you said you don't know.
Yeah.
Now, what does the law say about public service? It should account for how much of our budget, or any other county?
It should account for a maximum of 35%.
Now, in Bomet, it is way above that.
Yes.
Almost 50.
Yes.
if you get appointed as a member of the Public Service Board, how would you ensure that wage bill, what Honorable Eric had mentioned, will be reduced to what is accepted by the law?
Yes, see, like I was telling Mheshimiwa Eric, first, I give an example of the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock, where we have extension officers in charge of agriculture, which is crop, and we have extension officers in charge of livestock. So I was thinking possibly if we can merge so that we have one individual doing both livestock and crop, because hakuna kazi mingi. So that we have one individual. By doing that, we are reducing the number of individuals in the field.
All right. In line with what Honorable Rotich had asked you, you had opportunities of taking responsibility, but often, or more often, you declined.
Yes.
How will you, assure this board that if given this position, you will not also abdicate that responsibility again?
Now, now here is a situation. Maybe I didn't say it. I had not said that one, and maybe I didn't want to say intentionally. One is that, as Mr. Rodriguez said,
Honorable.
I used to be Honorable Rotich.
Honorable Rotich. I know you knew him as a teacher. Now, Honorable.
I'm sorry. I withdraw.
Yeah.
Now, let me be open. I never used to want to take those responsibilities. Number one, because I used to drink a lot. So I was scared.
What were you drinking?
So many things, sir.
All right.
So when you are a drunkard, you are like a blind person. So you don't see opportunities. But now, when I was about to retire, I started seeing opportunities. I even went for an interview, and I was given job group M. But and then I retired, so I could not be given a place. So if I had quit drinking maybe a bit early, I would have taken, like Mheshimiwa Rotich said.
Okay. Fair enough. I think up to that point, I don't know any other member who still has it. Just to ask, do you still drink a lot of? I don't know.
No, I quit.
You quit?
Yes.
But it is good to drink water. There is a bottle of water.
Not now.
Yeah,
Thank you.
On behalf of all the honorable members in the House and the members of staff with us here, I take this opportunity to say thank you for making it on time and also answering all the questions that we had. The committee will retreat and get back to you in due course. To the members of public who are at the gallery, welcome to this auspicious house. We appreciate that you've made time to come and witness as one Paul Kirui, though he has managed to make us laugh, but you've answered well. Make sure it doesn't recur.
Yeah, it won't.
Maybe once you get the position, it will come back again.
No, it's long gone.
So we want to wish you the very best as we wait. Oh, before that, I think there's a question from the public, from somebody called WKWK. Kindly ask Mr. Kirui if he is confirmed. What will he do with the UHC staff? UHC staff are universal health coverage staff who have been on contract for a long time. Their counterparts in the national government have been put on P&P terms. What's your take on that?
No.
And I think this also affects some ECD teachers.
Yes.
Also those in VTC. You are a resident of Bomet and you know the challenges we have.
Yeah, I know.
So what's your take on this?
Now, we just can't act like from verbal information. First, we have to study what is on the ground, because we can't say we just come and employ them like that. We have to study their terms of employment, their terms of contract, and then maybe from there we can create structures of how to absorb them. Otherwise, the question of whether what kind of employment they are doing, I think we have to study their mode of employment, their contract terms, and from the contract terms, I think we can decide from there. The decision will be decided on based on the contract terms. Even the ECD teachers, I think it's the same thing. We have issues with some of them who have not been confirmed. So we have to look at their terms of appointment before we do anything.
So once you've seen, what next? What this person wants to know is, what will you do? You know that they are on contract terms.
Yes, so we come and study how they were employed.
Now, once you study, this person wants a solution.
Yes, so
what is your solution? You just study and then
study them, and then we look at the way forward of how to absorb them.
I think what this person wants is the way forward.
Yes.
So what is your way forward? You want to be a member of the board?
Is to employ them, depending on how they were taken. They were given the contract. It is possible that some of them are not even qualified.
No, I don't know. I don't know whether they are not qualified and they were taken to UHC.
So I think it is up to, first of all, we come to the ground. We look at how their terms of appointment, and that those terms of appointment will decide what we are going to do.
Kirui, you said you will employ them once you are on the ground. You know you are on the ground. And these are UHC staff.
Yeah.
They were taken. Those who are qualified are the ones who are serving now. So they are all qualified. And this person has mentioned that in other places they've been taken on PNP terms. Now the question is, we have our
own in Bomet.
Wage bill is increasing
in Bomet,
and yet we have this. How are you going to act on that? It's not an easy position. You have to take responsibility now.
it is a very risky one. So I said, first of all, we have to look at the terms, how they were appointed. We must look at the terms of how they were appointed. And then from there, a decision will be made of either to absorb them, depending on the finances that are available in the country also. Because we cannot push things. If suppose they want to be employed and the resources are not available. So there are so many factors to be looked at here.
That's what we wanted to hear. Thank you. So thank you very much. Wishing you the very best. While around, you can look around our assembly. On behalf of the committee who are here, thank you very much. Just for your information, once the committee is done with its report, it will be brought back to this house for approval. Until then, you cross your fingers as you pray.
Yes.
Otherwise, on behalf of this committee, wish you the very best.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
For giving me the privilege to come before you. And I pray that your considerations will favor me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ensure you have all your documents before you leave. And you submitted the police, the clearance of the police.
Yes.
So you have the original.
Oh, I have all of them.
No, we got a photocopy. While I was going through your documents, I noted that your police clearance is a photocopy.
The one of the police?
Yes. I was afraid it was not valid, but I've checked. It is valid.
Yeah.
I'm talking of police clearance certificate.
Oh, yeah, so you have a copy?
No, I want the original.
It's here.
Where is it?
I think it is here.
So why did you give me photocopy?
Or which one is that? So that's the one that I have.
Is this original?
Which one is this? Ebu, let me see. You know, we have generated this one from the cyber. I was told to go to the cyber, and I got this one.